everyone. It's the final day of CinemaCon, and yesterday I told you we were going to get a surprise screening from Universal Studios, and we did. The cast, Fate of the Furious, came out to introduce the movie, and it was actually real surprise because the presentation was really long, and we were like 2 hours into the 3 hour presentation. At that point, I was just kind of like, oh, we're not going to get a movie at all, and then. The cast of Fate of the Furious came out, including Vin Diesel, Tyrese Gibson, Comet, Ludacris, Kurt Russell. They were all in the house doing another 5 or 8 minute Q&A, and I'm sitting there thinking, I don't want to see this. I want to see the movie. Bring on the movie. But I thought they weren't going to do it at that point. But then Vin Diesel surprised the crowd and was like, and we have so much faith in this film that it's going to be one of the biggest films of the year, and we're going to top ourselves. That here it is, Fate of the Furious. So we actually saw it. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about it. It was actually about exactly what you would expect from a Fast and Furious film, and that's good because I love the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's one of my favorite movie franchises right now. I discovered it with the fourth film, and I still haven't gone back and watched the first three. But I love its themes of brotherhood, and family, and everyone working together towards a common goal. It kind of hits me in all my good parts. It's not just a straight ahead B to the W action movie. And on the grand scale of things, I would start off by saying the Fate of the Furious is a really fun summer popcorn movie, but in terms of where it ranks in the franchise, I think I don't think it's as good as the last maybe 3 or 4 movies, but it's still it's still a fun movie to watch. The one thing I really hated about the trailers and everything in this movie is the fact that it goes against everything the franchise stands for, where Dom is all of a sudden forced to be a bad guy and betray everything he believes in. But the reason they give for it is actually it works. It works within the context of its overall themes of family and brotherhood and bonding and trying to do what's right in difficult situations. So in that respect, I think they redeemed themselves a little bit. But the problem was Vin Diesel had that same. I think this is the worst act. I don't want to say worst acted or worstly acted. Is that a word? But the way Vin Diesel acted throughout the movie was kind of weird and actually terrible. It felt like he was phoning it in a little bit because he had the same facial expression throughout the entire movie. He only changed facial expressions towards the end and in the beginning when he was smiling at Letty. Otherwise, he had this frown like the entire movie. That's it. That was his one expression the entire movie, and it was kind of like, okay, we get it. You're upset about the situation. You can't control what's happening to you. But can we get like a different version of? So yeah, that was the one drawback to the movie. So basically, what happens is I'm not gonna spoil the movie. The film opens with Dom and Letty on their honeymoon in Cuba, and where for a reason, for a contrived reason, he has to race like the big kahuna in Cuba, and it's a really good race scene. It takes about it's a 5 or 6 minute opening sequence, and in the annals of Fast and Furious races, it doesn't stack up to any of those earlier races, but it's still a solid way to open a Fast and Furious movie. From there, he's happy on his honeymoon. Him and Letty talk about having babies and how great of a father Dom would be. And as he's walking back, he encounters Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, who's new to the franchise. And basically, Cypher is an Uber hacker that the world governments have been after for years. And it turns out that they actually thought Cypher was an agency and not just one person. But this one person blackmails Dom into betraying this entire team, and the entire team is shocked by the betrayal. Hobbs is Hobbs. So there is actually just an excuse to go from one fight scene to the other, and car chase to the other. And I don't want to give away the entire plot in this review, but I will tell you about a couple of sequences in the movie where there's there's a sequence in New York where my mind just wouldn't shut off. Where Dom is trying to Dom is trying to steal the nuclear codes, and his team is trying to stop him. But Cypher is hacking every car in New York City because apparently every car in New York City has autonomous driving, and she turns all these cars on and starts controlling all these cars. And the scene was just so janky; it didn't make any kind of logical sense. And you know me, normally I'm not one who questions things in big action movies. I just kind of go with it. But this sequence, while really nicely done, I don't think it was as spectacular as they probably thought it would be. But not only was it not as spectacular as they thought it would be, it was just stupid on his face because no autonomous driving system exists that can do all of that with the car, even if you hacked it. And late model cars didn't have that kind of technology, so it was just weird. And even if you hack it, you can't have one person trying to hack and control every single car in New York City. It was just impossible, and my mind just wouldn't go with it. But I love the story. The story really flows really well. I actually really love this movie because it did focus more on the interpersonal relationships, and that's one of the reasons why I love the overall franchise, because it's always been about the interpersonal relationships over the action. While the action sequences were always spectacular, over the top, major jaw drop, it was at its core it was about these people. And again, in Fate of the Furious, it's about these people. And the action sequences are spread out throughout the entire movie. The weird thing about the movie is Hobbs and The Rock and Vin Diesel did not have a single scene together. And it was also odd that Dwayne Johnson wasn't at the Fate of the Furious um, presentation, because he's been all over CinemaCon all week long. So I think there's something going on there. I don't know what, but it just felt a little odd. Hobbs actually ends up in prison because of an operation gone bad, and the operation goes bad because that's when Dominic betrays everyone and Hobbs ends up in prison, and that's when Hobbs and the crew realize that Dom has gone bad and that they have to try to bring their friend in. But overall, I really love the movie. Charlize Theron is a great addition to this cast. When did she get amazing? Well, Charlize has always been amazing, but she's really good in this. And she doesn't kick ass at all, but she does it, the way she does it is just with her tone, the way she controls everyone around her. She just looks this shy, like just going off on someone, and it's such an amazing performance from her. And I just really love Fate of the Furious. I mean, I don't want to say I loved it. I would probably give the movie a B plus. It was a good, solid action movie, but it wasn't as over the top or jaw dropping as I expected it to be, because they keep setting the bar higher and higher and higher for this franchise, and I don't think this particular movie reached the bar that they normally set for themselves. Again, the audiences are going to love it and not nitpick it the way I did, but there were just like that entire New York sequence was just driving me nuts. And then there's a sequence at the end that was kind of like driving me nuts just from a technical standpoint. It was well done, well filmed. F. Gary Gray does a really solid job, especially considering the fact that he's new to the franchise and working with all these people. And again, it felt like the entire movie was filmed just for this one in sequence at the end. Jason Statham makes a return. I don't really want to talk about his character because otherwise I would end up spoiling it. But in order for us to go with the flow with this character, we have to forget everything that he did in the last movie. And I hate it when writers do that kind of MacGuffin thing where they flip a character and we're supposed to forget all the evil stuff that they did in the past. It just kind of drives me nuts when that happens. But the last scene, it feels like the entire movie was filmed just so that they can get that one last scene that kind of tugs at your heartstrings and make you go, oh. But it's such a typical Furious ending. And I do want to see this movie again. I actually really do want to see this movie again. So, Fate of the Furious coming out in a couple of weeks. Catch it. It was awesome. Bye.